Hello, and welcome to Season 2 of Don't Go There. I'm your host, Ellis Endsley, and if this is the first time you're clicking on, where have you been? There's a whole Season 1. This is the show where we bring on theme park performers from all over the world to answer the questions that you sent us on Twitter using the hashtag Don'tGoThereEE. If you haven't done that, go do that now, and before we get started, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss another episode. Now here's Don't Go There. This is the show where we answer your questions, but if it gets too deep, we say don't go there. Hello, and welcome to another Don't Go There. I'm here with Lauren Culver.
Hello.
She works at Universal as a theme park performer. So let's go ahead and get started.
Can you?
But first, because Rusty wants me to say this.
I'm
he's about to yell at me.
cool.
It is awesome though, but she made her own popsicle. What is it?
So I have dietary restrictions, so it's literally just frozen mangoes, basically, and some frozen strawberries, but I was mostly out and a little bit of almond milk and water holding it together.
Wow.
So it might be gross, but we'll see.
It doesn't sound gross.
It's in wine, so we can pretend it's the wine's fault if it's not good. Sauv Blanc does not go with my popsicles.
So try it.
Am I allowed to have it? I was like, I've been looking at this for so long.
I'm like,
Don't look too closely, though. What is happening?
oh my gosh, no, that's actually really good.
Okay. The consistency of the mango floating chunkily is not so great.
Maybe you shouldn't go into advertising where you promotions. You shouldn't. Wait, what is it? Maybe you shouldn't go into
Advertising
commercial advertising.
It's
Yes.
probably not. And I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were drinking. Yeah, if you don't think about it, if you close your eyes.
And hold your nose and just chug. It's fine.
When did you realize you wanted to be a performer? First time in your life.
First time in my life
Yes.
was probably, the two different realizations. That I wanted to do it and spend a lot of time doing it was probably freshman year of high school.
Okay.
Because I was the kid who did everything. Or tried to do everything, but did nothing exceptionally well. Truly. I was I would get good grades, and I played soccer, and I was on the debate team, and I was on the academic team. Call me. And I did mock trial, and but theater was I think I realized I was actually good at it and liked it my freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
I think I was doing Music Man.
Oh.
I did not get married, and I was very upset, but I got Mrs. Peru because that's what happens when you can act at all and you're a freshman in high school.
Right.
You're like, give her the character role.
Yep.
So I was the mom. But I think that was the first time I realized I loved it.
Yeah.
And then I ended up, and then when I went to the governor's school for the arts in Kentucky, that was later. That was my junior year of high school into my senior. And that was a program you had to audition for. It was my second year auditioning because they took 20 kids in musical theater from the state of Kentucky.
Wow.
And you did a 3-week intensive, and that was when I realized I was like, this is what I want to do for a living. My parents were thrilled.
That's awesome.
Luckily, my older sister had gone off to be a clown at one point, so they were like, whatever.
Hilarious.
Yeah, she paved the way. Thanks, Jess.
What is the earliest memory you have of performing?
A Christmas Carol.
Okay.
I was one of the town's children. And my sister, ironically, that I was just talking about, was Fred's wife at A Christmas Carol at the local community college. So I did, I sang A Christmas Carol, I think it was 8 or 9, audition, and they let me in, and I did the show.
Wow.
And I loved it. And then I did The Wizard of Oz right after that. And I was in the Lullaby League, so, solo.
Did you go to college?
I did.
What college?
Millikan University. Go Big Blue.
Oh, awesome.
They don't have an actual mascot, it's just the Big Blue. It's fantastic.
Oh.
Just your hat could be our mascot.
Oh.
In fact, tonight it is.
Okay, great. The hat is a mascot.
Millikan.
Millikan.
There are 2 Millikans. One is spelled, I don't know if it's actually pronounced Millikan. It's spelled with M-I-L-L I-K-A-N. The Millikan I went to is all eyes.
Oh.
It's in Decatur, Illinois. Pleasant place. The campus is gorgeous. The program was amazing. I auditioned a bunch of places, and I actually sat in on a class there with somebody who works full times in the parks here with you. Happened to be doing a class, and it was a advanced scene study musical theater class, and I watched this scene and I was like, that was the best thing I've ever seen. And then the teacher and the class broke it apart. Like, not in a negative way, but in a, okay, in this moment, your objective wasn't clear because of this. And when you got into the invisible car, you missed this part, and they worked through this thing that I already thought was amazing. And I was like, I'm going here.
That is amazing.
I was like, this is where I am going to school. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What did you study in college?
Musical theater.
Musical theater. Did you have any crazy moments from college?
Yes.
Yeah?
All of it.
All of it.
Thank you.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Anything that like has scarred you?
I wouldn't say scarred me. Well, there's a lot that has scarred me. Probably not what we're going to talk about now.
Right.
Thank you, Straw.
Otherwise, this gets put in your face because we don't go deep here.
Yeah, no thank you. The funniest, I think, 2 little bits I can say is I broke my elbow playing Quidditch. You're welcome. You're all welcome. You are so welcome.
So
we did Muggle Quidditch, and at that point
Harry.
I thought I was a Gryffindor, which I am a Ravenclaw, but I thought I was a Gryffindor because didn't we all? And it was a,
Don't you feel better now?
yeah, it was a fundraiser. Like we would do it once a year, and it was the theater like.
Oh,
Would do
okay.
it, and which is a terrible idea because we all got hurt and then couldn't perform our duties because it was full contact. And what I do not have in athletic skill, I make up for in aggression. So like
my
seriously,
gosh.
it's weird. I'm like pretty even keel, and then you get me in sports, and I'm not so much. So
Wait for the challenge.
Yeah.
oh goody. Okay. But yeah, so I broke my elbow playing Quidditch. I was a chaser, and it like on the field, I like landed on it weird. I was going to get the quaffle from a guy that we all called Butterscotch, who was enormous, but the sweetest man in the world, big teddy bear.
Oh my
He literally
gosh.
just like put his hand out to stop me. Like he was the most gentle thing. I was sprinting full force, so I just fell and I did this, and my elbow just yeah. So that was my first broken bone, and I had to like anyway
That was your first broken bone?
and the elbows are kind of hard, so
Yeah.
A+.
Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. And then I had a squirrel die in my bed my freshman year.
What?
I was gonna leave that one. No, I'm kidding.
No, explain.
So, okay, so I honestly don't know how it happened. It's a mystery to this day. But it was a very, very old dorm, very haunted, very old. They stopped letting people live there like 1 year after I left. I left for fall break because it was after Halloween. Came back for Christmas, and my roommate had left like 4 hours after me, so I thought my roommate came back from Thanksgiving break after me. I got back in, and I walked in our dorm room, and there was just like little pieces of paper everywhere. And I was like, what's going on? Did she leave a mess? And then I looked around, and there was rodent poop everywhere. And then I saw the claw marks in the walls. And then I found just like all the soda cans had been emptied. And then I saw like everything had been ravaged. Like clearly something had lived and died there. And I was like, what is going on? Because I have no idea how it got in, because our window was open this much, but the screen was on behind it, and no holes were in it.
Oh.
And there was a hole in my closet, but you could like put your hand in and feel that it was sealed. So I think I got punked really, really. Somebody did a good job. I really got that. But we were cleaning up, we had like health services, all this stuff come in, and we're cleaning it up, and then we go to my bed, and finally like someone pulls back the sheets, and it's just like curled up, perfectly dead, perfectly happy, little squirrel.
Oh.
It died on sugar high. It was fine. Like it went out with it had a party on its way out.
Yeah.
And I remember, I'll never forget that the campus offered to pay for me to wash the blankets. Like that was how they were gonna reimburse me, and I was like, I'm good actually. I think I'm gonna throw these out. Like, this is like this bedspread like urine stained from the Target campus section. I'm like,
Yeah.
you want us to wash it? Pay to wash it for you? I'm like, no, I want you to pay to replace it. Thanks.
Did you have any service jobs before, guest service jobs before
Yes.
performing?
Yes.
Yes.
And all throughout. I did. My first job was selling hot dogs at a Skyline Chili. Shouts to anybody.
Scalini chili.
Scalini Chili.
Yes.
Yes.
What the heck is this?
It's a Cincinnati, Ohio thing.
It
It has a
is.
very specific flavor. They have nutmeg and chocolate in it.
Oh.
So it was like, you sort of waited tables, but you really didn't, because I was 16, that was my first job, but I've waited a lot of tables.
You can get like
Many
bowls of
different
chili. You
restaurants.
can get it over spaghetti,
Yeah.
over pasta, over.
Yes, but they call it a 3-way, a 4-way, and a 5-way. That is what they are called, the
Oh.
dishes, and I was a 16-year-old girl in
Working.
Appalachia. Just leave
Right.
that, we're just gonna leave that right there.
Right.
Let it marinate.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
let it marinate.
Wow.
And then I waited tables. I didn't really through college. I worked in the offices actually as like a student assistant a lot. Did a lot of office work in college. Loved that. By the end of my senior year, I was running the auditions I wasn't running them, but I was the student leader of them. I was organizing all the people and like helping everybody.
Yeah.
And then out of college, I pretty much waited tables exclusively except when I was getting gigs. And then when I moved to Orlando, I waited tables.
When did you move to Florida?
Lessons. 6 years ago? It was sort of an accident. I was doing a summer stock theater in Ohio, and I met someone who was moving down here to Tampa, and then I started looking at auditions, and I was like, oh, there's a bunch of auditions, and my aunt lives in Lakeland. I'll just go down there and do some auditions, and I literally just didn't leave because it was so much work. I was like, I can pay my bills performing? Even some of the time, like honestly, I was like, gotta go, I live here now.
Yeah.
And I did a couple shows right out of the gate. I did one with Bob Carr, and I did a show at Theater Zone, and did some like regional stuff. I did some regional work, and then theme parks took me about a year. I think it took me a year to get hired at Universal, maybe. And then I get to do different jobs there, and I'm full time there now, which is great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's so fun. What was your audition experience like for the parks?
Very different.
Yes.
The way they teach you to audition in college is so different than how theme park auditions run.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting. Like, it's so different from an EPA, or in some ways it's not. In some ways it's exactly the same.
Right.
Like, sitting around the waiting, the talking to people, but specifically the biggest difference I noticed was the material that you have to use to get a good response.
Right.
Because in college I was taught to never write your own monologue and never use monologues from TV, and so I came into theme park auditions with like comedic play monologues, and they were like falling asleep behind the table.
Right.
And then I came in with a Lorelai Gilmore monologue, and I was like, getting hired, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy.
It's a different style of performing, not for every show,
right.
because some things are very book show
Right.
in the theme parks, but some are very.
And that's what I'm good at.
That's what I'm much better at. I have learned through the theme parks, which is cool, that I've like picked up a new skill to do the more Atmo improv stuff.
Do you have any embarrassing audition stories?
I'm sure I do. I mean, I usually just block them out,
Yeah.
I mean, I have bad audition experiences. I don't have any that are like, leave the city. None like there's a squirrel in my bed, but, but I do have ones where I've like, even like within a year, in this year, I almost walked out of a callback before finishing my callback because I just checked out because I was like, you're not hiring me for this. Like I did like one monologue and they were like, could you be less? And I was like, I really can't. Like that's what my mind was doing, and I was like, okay, I'll do my best. And then I just turned to walk out, and this is a place I really want to get hired and have not gotten hired. So I turned to walk out, come back in, and he's like, do you want to sing the song? I was like, oh, sure. That sort of thing happens to me a lot. But
hilarious. Are there any shows at the parks that you have done that are now closed?
Yes.
Yes?
Can I say it? Am I allowed to talk about it? I got to do the pre-show for the 8th Voyage of Sinbad.
Oh my gosh.
I was a Terry.
Wow.
It was a lot of fun, which was super fun. It was good to do. I'd never done like a crowd warming show. That was the first role I ever got to do that was let me lean into the awkward when we were workshopping it.
Oh.
I'd never gotten to really lean into my awkward on stage.
Yeah.
In that way, and just be like, hey guys, you know what I mean? So, which is who I am. So it was really fun to get to do that, and yeah, I loved that. It was good. It was a very special role for me.
Yeah.
And a really cool show. Everyone was working so much harder than I was. Like you would walk in and be like, hey guys, I'm here to make everybody yell, and they'd be like upside down doing handstands, like backflips
like
with one arm.
up.
They were stunt performers. They're all amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. Yeah. Do you have any funny show stories? Anything that happened on stage that was hilarious?
It's so hard to think of off the top of my head. I'm sure I do.
Every time I ask
My boyfriend stares across the room because we're not doing a show. He would torture me during. I did Private Lives with my now boyfriend, and during this. Do you know Private Lives? It's a Noel Coward play.
No.
There are the concept really
TV
quickly. British, no. There was a movie, I think, but the concept is it's a British high farce basically, and the whole concept is this couple that had been married but then got a divorce, meet each other again on their wedding nights to these other people, and then after Act 1 leave their new fiancés for each other again because they're all passion. So they're either sticking their tongues on each other's throats or they are like throwing things at each other and fighting and doing stage combat. So there were some moments where they would say solix, where they're like, that's their code word that they have to be quiet for 2 minutes. But sometimes those moments would go on for longer than 2 minutes because my acting partner would just torture me. And he could play piano, so he would play like the Imperial March.
Oh
He
my
would
god.
like say so much to me. This is another smaller one, but I think back to way before professional theater. The first time someone played a prank on me on stage, to the level that you can't really do in professional theater.
Right.
I was Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz, and I had a dog, a real dog, and a basket, but the dog didn't fit in the basket, so I constantly had to hold the dog in the basket. So like, there was no gesturing the entire show for me. But my good friend was the Tin Man, and he put a stage weight in my basket before one of the scenes. Those things are heavy, like 10 or 20 pounds. So I was on stage like shaking, trying to hold this basket up.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are more, I just can't think of them right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What other shows have you done outside of the parks?
Oh, so many. Private Lives was one of my favorites. You mean recently or like ever? Am I talking favorites? What was my qualification here?
Well, let's just skip to your favorite.
My favorites?
Yeah, your favorite one that you have done.
The Hamlet project was probably my favorite, tied with Private Lives.
Yeah.
Private Lives was definitely the best I felt about a show as an entire production. It was really well directed. I felt good about the acting I did. You know what I mean? That doesn't happen often.
Right.
That you're like, I feel good about that. Or for me, it doesn't.
Yeah. It's very rare.
And then I did, with John, Mark, and Chris, I did 3-person Hamlet.
Oh, awesome.
I did a 3-person Hamlet for Fringe. We cut it down to 50 minutes, and it wasn't the best I've ever done, but it was exactly the kind of challenge I've always wanted.
Yeah.
To be Ophelia and Hamlet, and then in the next scene be someone else.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And then, let's see.
I feel like we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably literally have on this couch.
Yes.
Bonnie and Clyde was one of my favorites in town.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
The musical
That was my
itself.
Culver introduction.
I did that.
You just pissed yourself in the chin.
I just love myself. Gross.
That was your introduction to her?
Yes.
That was, the show itself is so imperfect, but that production, it's one of those unicorn moments where you like it. Not to say you don't normally like people, but you're not on the same wavelength with every person in the cast.
Right.
Like, we just all get along, we have fun. The director did his job. The set was a good use of the space, and the production value was good. And I was really proud of that, and I made some good friends. Yeah, and I like being the sad character. I do. I really do. I was like, let me cry on stage. Let's do this.
Do you have any performance fails
Yeah.
that like stick out to you?
Well, this is also a fresh wound, so I don't know if it's like fair. But I had vocal cord polyps.
Yes.
And I was doing a Irving Berlin review, which was fun to do. And I had to opt down like 4 times because I had vocal cord polyps. I had to like opt down at the end, the 11 o'clock number of a show of There's No Business Like Show Business, and I was just like, I hate myself like every night that I walked on stage because sound wouldn't come out up top because I had a pollen.
Right.
But I was like, this is the worst thing.
Yes.
I was like, this is everything I don't believe in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go on with the show.
Literally, the first couple times we were like taking the whole cast is singing it, and then everyone leaves but me. So it's supposed to be this like, so that I just did an Ethel Merman voice to try to make it like it was a choice. Because we're all up like, there's no people like show people. And I'm like, let's go on with that show. I hate everything. Oh, that particular audience isn't, the particular audience for the most part at that theater, it just happy to be there.
Right.
So it was fine, but when like my friends came, I was like, please do not touch me. Or like people that I don't know well but are performers, I was like, I want to die. Yeah. At the theme parks, I've gotten my costume caught on items on stage that has like stopped me dead and made me like turn around. I've also had my mic pack go down my tights in a performance. So like I'm dancing and it's sliding down my leg and I'm not gonna do the dance, but because you have in-ears and all this stuff in, I'm just literally doing this.
Yes.
Because my mic was going down so I couldn't stand upright anymore. So I had to like,
Because the wire is like pulling it out.
so I had to like run to the offstage area that isn't at all out of the view of everyone and be like, yeah, and like I get back up. Find a good moment to do that. I've also had bugs crawl like in my dress during that particular thing, and I'm not going to do anything. But like every time I'd face away from the audience, I'd be like, and like try to kill it. Because it was like biting me, and I was like, oh, smiling. I've had, when I did Private Lives, we were in Act 1 and doing like a romantic moment, and it was the first preview, and the set was a railing, and it literally just fell over. So we're like having this moment, and the set just falls over, and you're like, well, I sure can't react to that.
Yeah.
So I've also had a woman, when I was doing White Christmas, which was another of my favorites, because now I'm thinking of it. I was Betty in White Christmas, which I want to do again. But it was a specific crowd. It was a dinner theater, and there was a woman in the first table who answered her cell phone on speaker. On speaker. And it was the Betty and Bob, like the first time that Betty is actually a human being to Bob, and like, oh, I love you. She answered it. She's like, I hear like ding 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 ding, I'm in a casino, and she's like, I'm in the theater, and they're like screaming at each other, and then everyone around is going, shh, 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 I'm in a casino, I can't talk right now, I'm watching a play, and I'm just like, when I'm worried and I can't sleep, and like trying to like.
Oh my gosh.
Good times.
There was also, we were doing West Side Story at Show Palace Dinner Theater, and somebody
That was where this was. That's where Christmas was. I just made the chicken.
I know. No, wait, it was at the Show Palace?
Yeah, that was at the Show Palace.
Of course it was. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, we were doing West Side Story, and this guy had his phone on loud.
They should learn.
We were in a very sweet, not sweet. It was a very dramatic moment. It was when Anita rips all the boys off her, and she was about to scream at them, and we hear
The duck.
from the audience. It was a duck ringtone, and it just kept going. Do you have a favorite musical?
I don't think I have one, to be perfectly honest with you. I think you two-handed. Yeah, keep up. I'll talk for a while. You drink. Okay, so no.
No, but
I did say for a long time that Les Mis was, and I still think that it's very important to me as far as developmentally because the music is so
it's
beautiful.
a very popular show.
Yes, and I grew up very much loving it, and it's something I always want to do.
Yes.
Even if it's the ensemble. My favorite musical that I've actually seen, like as far as like going to see a Broadway show, was Next to Normal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not one that you can just sit around and listen to without feeling all the feelings. But I like to feel the feelings. I'm a Cancer. Love the feelings.
Yes.
It's hard for me to pick it really is hard for me to pick a favorite.
I know.
Like, a favorite musical I've done, as far as like dramatic structure goes, but it wasn't professional, so I didn't mention earlier, is Spitfire Grill. The Spitfire Grill.
Oh, I do
no one
love
does,
that show.
and I was Percy, and I love that show.
I love that show so much.
Somebody do it!
Oh my gosh. Do you have a dream role?
Again, I feel like it's all pretend now. I do. I mean, of course I want to be Alphaba.
It is all pretend.
Of course I want to be Alphaba. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Of course I do. I wanted to do that show since I decided to love theater because it was also right when it was popular. You know what I mean? Like,
popular.
well done.
Oh, wow.
My cat.
Show joke.
One of his names is Fierro, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, one of your cats'
His
names
name is Potter Lucas Fierro Fitzculver Esquire. That's his full name.
Is there an acronym?
No.
Okay.
No.
Prom.
And there are just a lot of plays I want to do. I want to be the great ladies in Shakespeare. I want to do. These are all plays, not musicals. I know.
That's fine.
But I really want to be in Arcadia, the Tom Stoppard play.
Yeah.
It's one of my absolute favorites. Musicals, I do want to be the baker's wife or the witch. Or both. I do want to be the mom, Diana, in Next to Normal.
Yeah.
I just like a complex role.
Yes. Favorite onstage interaction?
Okay, it doesn't help that he's in the room.
Yes.
But hey, shouts to it. It is indeed Private Lives because I met someone and then
Correct.
we got to meet someone and then just like interact with them and every like the tension and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Gotta go. That
Making
you
out
may not be
on
able to
stage.
use that. You may not be able to use that. So just in case. On-stage interaction. Gosh, I love the little moments. I do really love the little moments that you find, especially in the theme park shows.
Yes.
Between the big moments that are still within the storyline, but are different with every. She says specifically, which that drives her nuts. That are still within the story arc. That are unique with every different partner you work with, if that makes sense. Those are the little things that really make my day-to-day life so special.
Yeah.
Like the little moments where if it's a show where you find a backstory with this other, in ensemble moments when you find a backstory with someone and you get to play out that ridiculous backstory that you decided on. Those are my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we graduate to the Twitter questions, which is where you guys sent us questions using the hashtag #Don'tGoThereEE. These are dire to your career, so you probably should
they're
answer
dire for
these.
me?
Yeah,
Okay.
you need to answer these absolutely correctly, because they're important.
Oh my god.
They're very
I'm not
important.
gonna know them unless they're about Harry Potter.
You might lose your job.
Great.
What football team do you like?
I have one now. I like the Minnesota Vikings
Okay.
because my boyfriend does, so now I do.
Okay.
Great team.
Okay.
I've been watching because here's the thing: I will commit to anything once I'm in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like now I've been watching this team and actually invested in their growth, and so I know the players and I understand these things. I'm still not like a super fan, but there you go.
Yeah, that's funny. Because
You were not expecting me to have an answer for that? Yeah.
No, not at all.
Thanks, bye.
If you could review any movie, what would it be?
The Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2,
Yeah?
because I have a lot of opinions.
Oh, yikes.
They're not bad. They're just changes that shouldn't have been made from the original text that would have worked better as they were written in the book on film.
Right. Yeah. You're a performer. Reading a book.
I know.
Yeah.
I care so much about
Yep.
everything. It's
Right.
like,
What would be the worst type of makeover?
well, anything involving prosthetics, because I've never had to wear them and I'm fine without them. Thanks. Okay, thanks, bye.
Okay, thanks, bye. How do you feel about air?
It's important.
It is important. Yes, it is.
I'm very pro air.
Yes. If you could tattoo any celebrity, who and what would you do?
I'm sorry, am I putting a tattoo on them?
Yes.
Okay.
Art.
It isn't easy. What?
Yeah. It's a question that was asked.
Okay, well, you got me thinking about Harry Potter, so now I'm only gonna think of like lore things. There's a joke in one of the Harry Potter books very quickly in Deathly Hallows. No, I'm sorry. Half-Blood Prince, where Ginny says that Ron has a pygmy cuff tattooed on him, so I think it'd be funny to get
Oh.
an actor and
Tattoo it on
tattoo a
him.
pygmy cuff. Like nowhere gross. Like
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's funny.
Rupert Grint's great and everything, but like maybe his arm, somewhere where we could see it, like a big pink pygmy cuff. That's all I got right now.
Bowl cut or emo fringe?
What?
Bowl cut
Okay, got it.
or emo fringe?
I'm gonna go with.
What did I
I
say?
just didn't understand it. I'm sorry. Wine. Bowl cut because I had one.
You had a bowl cut.
Yeah, I'll show you pictures later.
Where's your ideal place to poop?
In my own bathroom.
In your own bathroom?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Not a public New York subway station.
No. I'm good, thanks. Is that your favorite place to poop?
No.
Okay.
Favorite childhood game? Do you have one?
Is it stupid to just say pretend? Because I feel like that's all we did was
I mean-
pretend in different storylines. Like my best friends and I, when we were really little, we had a game. One of my friends and I had a game called Dimensions that we played in first grade on the playground.
Okay.
We pretended time travel. And then my other best friend, he and I would just be werewolves in the yard or like be James Bond characters, even though we didn't understand any of the context.
Right.
I was like, yeah, sure, I'll be this girl. She's a hero, right? Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, just play pretend outside.
How many watermelons?
8.
8.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Yeah, and the question that we ask everyone, if you could be any theme park attraction, Disney or Universal, what would you be and why?
The Forbidden Journey, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, duh. Hogwarts Castle, most beautiful place on earth. That's my magical happy place. I don't know if you've gotten the subtle clues. I'm a really big Harry Potter nerd. So yeah, that would be mine because it's just so detailed inside and out. It's one of the most magical places I've ever walked through at either park, honestly.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
as far as the queue line, it's just done so well.
It is. It's magical.
Yeah, the queue line is as good as the ride.
Magical.
You caught the finger guns. Good job.
Yeah,
They're
great.
contagious.
Great.
I gotta go.
I just been holding my hands. I gotta go. My mom's here.
Hilarious.
Don't-
Do you have any public social media?
Not really.
No.
No.
None.
Sorry. I mean, I have an Instagram, but it's mostly my cat. It's not like for the masses.
Right, but you should like go follow her so you can see her cat.
He's really cute.
Yeah. What's your handle?
It's my name. Lauren E. Culver. Yeah.
Lauren E. Culver.
Yeah. Underscore.
Awesome. And you know where to find me: Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, and Musically, all at endsleyellis. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, and comment what you would like to see next time. And we will see you later. Bye.